If I had to pick one stock to hold for the next 10 years, I don't have the option to sell it. I can't even watch this portfolio or watch the stock go up and down. I just have to buy it, and then in 10 years I have the option to sell it. What stock would I pick? Welcome back to another video. Hit that subscribe button down below if you enjoy this content, and don't forget to join our new Facebook group, Positive Investing. It's a great community with a lot of great discussion. So don't miss out. Join the group completely free. I'll leave a link down in the description as well as the comment section. So first off, 10 years is a very long time. And to invest in a company for 10 years, I really have to think of where I see the world going in the next 10 years. But you have to understand that a lot can happen in the next 10 years. We could have another incredible bull run continuation where the Dow hits 50,000. We could have a stock market recession or a correction in the next 10 years. We could have one of the worst depressions in the next 10 years where the stock market completely crashes and most people end up losing a lot of money when they start selling. So personally, I would not really hold a position this long. Most of my holdings are for a couple of years, up to maybe 4 or 5 years. 10 years I feel is a very, very long time to hold a position, unless it's a stock that I want to throw in my retirement portfolio, forget about it, and just not look at it. Those aren't necessarily growth stocks, those are more stable stocks where I can rely on either preserving my capital over the long term or earning some income from dividends from those stocks in the long term. So what do I see as the future? So there's really 3 things that I see. So the first is automation, so automating your day-to-day life. The second is artificial intelligence. And the third is self-driving cars. So automation is already kind of becoming a reality with things like your smart speakers, like your Amazon Echo, your Google Homes, Apple HomePods, whatever it may be. These things already being integrated into a lot of households to automate things in your house. Turn on the lights, turn on the stove, turn on the kettle, whatever it may be, these things are available today. Now, a lot of people still have yet to adopt this, but I think in the future, new houses will actually have these things built in. Things like smart light switches, things like smart appliances. These are becoming more and more reality, and eventually this will become the standard and the norm. So that's where I see home automation really going, especially in the next 10 years. Now the next thing to touch upon is artificial intelligence, which is huge. So AI is already showing us that it can think much faster and more efficiently than a human. So if you're not familiar with IBM Watson, take a look at that, maybe do a quick Google search on that after, and you'll understand that artificial intelligence is here already, and it's slowly starting to integrate itself into our society. Now the goal, of course, is that this integration will make our lives better. That's of course what all of us are hoping for and investing in, which is why a lot of AI-based companies or AI future companies are really performing well this year and the last couple of years. And although there is fear that this could go wrong, the general sentiment for the most part is that AI will be good for our future. The biggest negative that I can see coming out of this is that AI would be replacing a lot of jobs in the future. So a lot of jobs right now that are repetitive, that are being done by humans, you could easily place an AI robot in there to do that for you, and you could save on that overhead cost of an employee. So it's a one-time cost for the robot, and then it's yours for life kind of thing. Now the third and final thing that I want to talk about is self-driving cars. So are electric cars the future? Maybe. So I know a lot of people, including myself, love driving gasoline cars. I know a lot of us look for new exhaust systems for our cars, try to get our cars sounding as loud as possible. And that's a group that's slowly reducing, but I don't think that in the next 10 years that gasoline cars will be completely gone. That being said, electric cars might start outselling gasoline cars, but I still think that gasoline cars and the interest and the wants for gasoline cars will still be around for a very long time. But the deeper question here is self-driving cars the future? Now, this is where it differs from electric cars. Now, self-driving cars, I believe, is the future and will be here in the next 10 years. We can already see a lot of the big manufacturers, whether German or Japanese or even American, implementing features like lane keep assist, which is using AI in some sense. The car does recognize where the lanes are and does recognize it shouldn't cross over those lanes to keep the person safe. Then on the other end of the spectrum, you have companies like Tesla, which completely has autopilot built in where the car literally drives for you. That is where I think the future is going. I think all manufacturers will have this within the next 10 years, probably even sooner. And as this improves, I feel that these features will roll down to more base model cars. So even your cars like your Honda Civics or your Hyundai Elantras, these cars will also have your basic lane keep assist or autopilot and all that stuff built into it as a base feature. So now, seeing as these are the three things that I believe will happen in the next 10 years, what company would I pick to fulfill these three things, and what company do I think will be the leader in the space for these three things? Well, there's only really one company that's kind of the dominant player in all three of these spaces right now, and I don't think that's changing, especially if you look at their growth over the last few years. If you haven't guessed what this company is, I do have it in my portfolio already, so that should already narrow it down to just a couple stocks. And you still don't know what it is, it's Nvidia. So I absolutely love this company for the long term, and they're doing everything right from a business perspective. The CEO is very driven, and he's actually one of the most motivating CEOs out there in my opinion. And you can see that he sees the vision that I kind of talked about today. He sees that all of these things are a reality and will become a reality in the next 10 years. And he wants Nvidia to be the company to make that a reality. You can see competitors like AMD and Intel really struggling from this and even starting to partner to combat Nvidia over the next few years. Now, only time will tell how Nvidia does over the next 10 years. Really, the next 10 years will tell how Nvidia does over the next 10 years. But I believe that this is a strong company, and I believe that this is the company to hold if I had to choose one for the next 10 years. Guys, don't forget to invest positively, and I'll see you in the next